Welcome to the CiconePrince.com show starring your man, Cicone Prince. Cicone is an international recognized motivational speaker that focuses on personal development and leadership development. He does this through thought-provoking keynotes, life-changing books, and powerful group coaching sessions. Cicone is a transformational speaker, award-winning author, editor of a globally read online magazine, and conference host. Please welcome your host, Cicone Prince.
Welcome to the CiconePrince.com show. I'm your host, Cicone Prince. And I am so excited because today's show we're going to be talking about working on you. And the interview that I had with Dr. Obom Bowen coming up later in the show, you want to check that out. But listen, when it comes to working on you, so many people, they actually put it on a back burner. They let it take a back seat in their life, and they spend so much time working to help other people. And I'm not saying we're not supposed to help folks, but we can help them by first helping ourselves. That's why on the airplane, they say, put the oxygen mask on yourself and then help somebody else. But I think so many of us, we don't think that much of ourselves to where we think that we're worth the investment. We're worth the money that's needed to make our life, our skills better. And so we miss out on those opportunities. And so I want you to make sure that you do what is necessary to actually become the best version of yourself. And anybody that's achieved anything worthwhile has had a coach. I'm going to say that again. Anybody that has achieved anything worthwhile has had a coach. And I know for a fact that even myself, even what I'm doing right now wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't hired somebody, paid them money to coach me. And you know what? That was an investment in me. I paid them, but I was investing in myself because I was giving myself the skills and the tools needed in order for me to become a better version of me. Not trying to be somebody else, but be the best version of myself. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to take time to work on you. And I know that in order to do that, you need to have somebody that sees stuff that you can't see and somebody that can help you see those blind spots. And that's what a coach does. Listen, I have this other video that I know for a fact will drive home this point. And here's something else fresh out the vault.
I can't believe this. I asked a friend of mine, I said, hey, look, man, I need to borrow your phone for a second. Guess what he gave me? A flip phone. A flip phone. Flip it open, flip it close. Flip it open, flip it close. A flip phone. He expect me to, I can't use this. I need to record a quick video to put online, and I was going to use this phone. This can't even do that. I mean, yeah, it has a camera on it, but really, look at the picture. This is horrible. You expect somebody to use. This ain't even an iPhone 1 or 2. This is like a negative. I can't believe this. I mean, what, we're on iPhone, 7 now? We have Samsung Galaxy S7. And this guy has me a flip phone? Please. But you know, as I thought about it, I said, how many of us are like this phone? Stuck in the past. Our thinking is so antiquated. I mean, so many things have changed. And yet, we're still thinking like this. You know, these older phones, they were good at the time, but they've evolved. You know, like I said earlier, we have iPhone 6 and 7. We have Samsung Galaxy S7 and 7 Edge. And yet, they keep making new ones. Pretty soon there'll be an iPhone 8 and a Galaxy 8. But what about you? What version of yourself are you on? Are you 2.0? 3.0, Sally 5.0, John 6.0? Are you still stuck? Are you a flip phone? Is that where you find yourself? Your way of thinking has kept you stuck and stagnant where you are? Well, maybe, just maybe, you need a coach. Maybe you need somebody to come alongside and help you to get to where you say you want to be. And that's what I'm here to do. And like, this is Cicone Prince of CiconePrince.com, where we introduce you to yourself. And I want to encourage you today to seek out a coach. And you can stop looking because you found one right here in me. With my Breakthrough Success Coaching Package, I can help you achieve the goals that you've set for your life, whether personal or entrepreneurial. Even in the area of personal development, I'm definitely an expert in that area. So I can help you get to where you want to be. Look, all of us, we have trials and tribulations. We have things that come against us. And sometimes we need to get beyond where we are. You know, Muhammad Ali said that he didn't start counting until it started hurting. And a lot of us, we aren't willing to push ourselves beyond our comfort zone. We'll go only so far and then stop. But with a coach, with someone that is holding you accountable, with someone that's asking the hard questions, they can get you to be the best possible version of yourself. And that's what I'm doing. I'm helping you achieve your own personal level of greatness. Hey, look, I ask right now, if you're in need of a coach, if you're thinking about a coach, you know 2017 is right around the corner and you need to position yourself to be the best that you can be. You need a coach. Think of any athlete that you know, anyone who's worth their salt, and you'll find behind them there was a series of coaches that helped them reach their full potential. And that's what I want to do for you. Hey, look, this is Cicone Prince of CiconePrince.com, where we introduce you to yourself. And I'm encouraging you, get a coach. And I'm also encouraging you to get me. And look, I ask you to like and share this video. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Michelle Dumas, the principal of Morningside Elementary School, and you were able to motivate not only my children, but my parents. You were able to help them to see that one day you could be the next Maya Angelou or Barack Obama. I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
And we're back. Man, the person we have today is an amazing individual who I had the opportunity to spend a little time with in Guyana, South America. And I'm telling you, you want to find out more about Dr. Obom Bowen. So I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Well, thank you for having me. And it's a pleasure to be here, Cicone. And yes, we had the pleasure of meeting in my home country. I was born, Georgetown in Guyana. It was a beautiful time. For those of you who don't know, my name is Dr. Obom Bowen, and I love connecting with masters in their space. And that's exactly what Cicone is. I've been a student of growth and development. I've served in the military for 20 years, and that's where mastery started for me. I wanted to be, as they say in the movie Men in Black, the best of the best of the best, sir, right? So I joined the Marine Corps when I was 17 years old and spent 20 years there. That's kind of where I learned the majority of my work ethic, the discipline. I got both my medical degrees there, in psychology and human behavior, a master's in business, obviously. And, you know, I also got a master's in kinesiology, because I was always very hyper as a kid, and I was breaking everything. So I needed to understand my body and how to help it heal. So, after that, I was married at a very young age, 19, 2 beautiful daughters. At the time when I left the military, went through a real bad divorce and then ended up homeless for 5 years. Beautiful and the most important and powerful time in my life, because that's when a great deal of my personal development journey started. And in that process, my current wife, who we've now been together for almost 20 years, I met, she was helping a lot of veterans. And I always joke with her and tell her I was the one client she met and never left. And, here we are today. So it's a pleasure to be here. I love spending time with you, my brother. It's good to be back on here. And whatever we can do to help and inspire somebody today, I'm all for it.
Well, man, listen, I am so excited and so happy that you were able to actually join us today. And I know for a fact that this is going to be an incredible interview. So going into just listening at your story is amazing in and of itself. But what really gets me is this, that you learn about the importance of personal development. So talk a little bit more about what you've done to develop yourself as a person.
So the military have, for every position you get to, there's a professional development school. And it's all about, let's say you get promoted to the first rank. They send you to a course that'll teach you how to not only learn and help others at that level, but the next level. So I was already used to that. But being in the military for 20 years, I didn't understand it then as personal development or growth development. I just understood it as the thing that's required, that's necessary to do.
Right.
So when I left the military in those 5 years where I was suffering and struggling, a friend of mine introduced me to two really cool books. One called The Slight Edge, which is, helping you turn simple disciplines into massive success, and The Secret. So I started reading The Secret and The Slight Edge, and then I got The Secret video, which I watched out until I broke the DVD back then, and and then the greatest of all, I read the Bible. There's 66 books in that Bible, everything from success and story. So I started my own personal journey because at the time I was going through a lot, real bad divorce. I was very depressed. In fact, for 2 of those 5 years, I was suicide ideation. I planned on taking my own life. There's so much going on. And, jokingly, I tell people all the time, but this is just real. Because at the time that happened, I was in my young 30s. I think I was just turning 31. And I was walking into the gym one day because my psychiatrist recommended I start to get some physical exercise in, to change, because that releases different chemicals in the body. And I heard like these noises going on, and it was a bunch of women, and they were having a kickboxing class. So, me, the only guy, there was about 23 women in there. I looked around and I'm like, man, I should go in there. Maybe I could find me a date. You never know. But what drug me to it was the women there. And afterwards, they would always have these conversations and pass books around and stuff like that. So essentially, I started working out. Then there was different reading and all kinds of stuff going on. And a good friend of mine introduced me to network marketing.
Right.
So if you know anything about the network marketing industry, it's all about personal development, self-development. One of the greatest lessons I learned was a mentor of mine says, your income will never far surpass your level of growth or development. And that stuck with me. And I was like, wait, what does he mean? So I said, listen, bro, because this was me and a good friend of mine who was his son. So my mentor's son, we were friends, and we were speaking Ebonics, and I'm like, bro, so what's he saying? I'm not ever gonna get rich because I'm broke and dumb. He goes, just what you said don't even make sense. He says, you need to read some more, bro. So then they took me to a seminar with Jim Rohn. Okay. And I mean, if you're familiar with Jim Rohn, Jim always says, never begrudge the money you spend on education. He said, the more you put in here, the more you'll put in here, your pocket. So you'll have more money. So it went directly in alignment with that statement of your income will never far exceed your level of growth and development.
Right.
So I got super hyper focused on developing myself. And then I start to realize the more I read, then I read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I don't know if I could say the word here, but it ticked me off. I didn't want to use the word with the T, but with the P, right? It completely ticked me off.
Right.
Because I realized, like, there's a whole other world, and I've been taken advantage of. Why? Because of lack of knowledge.
Right. Exactly.
So then I started reading just about every book Robert Kiyosaki wrote. Then there was the other one, Business of the 21st Century, and the one he wrote with Donald Trump. And that's it. I'm going to go a little deeper into it. So I started going to seminars. And my wife now, who was my friend then, turned into girlfriend, we made a pact with each other that every quarter we're going to go to a personal development and a relationship development retreat. And we've been doing that now. It's been almost 15 years. 4 times a year, we go to a relationship retreat or a personal development event that's an extent of about 2 to 3 days. So we got immersed. And, at the end of that 5 years, things started to roll in. So my income started to come and grow and develop. And the more I developed mentally, spiritually, emotionally, the more the finances then started to chase me, and I stopped chasing money. So, for some folks, they're like, man, it just looked like overnight you just did it all. It's like, yeah, overnight is roughly about 12 years.
Exactly. Exactly. I remember hearing Kevin Hart say it took him 18 years to become an overnight success.
That's pretty much true. It took me about 23 years to become an overnight success.
Oh man. Oh man. Well man, listen, it sounds like you have, and I know for a fact you have done so many amazing things. And I know that you have a wealth of knowledge that you share with other people. So how have you taken what you've learned and what you've used to develop yourself? Now I know you're into giving back. So how have you taken that and how do you pour into other people?
Wow, that's a great question. Before I answer it, I'll preface with this though.
Okay.
Some of the lessons I learned from taking what I've put in to give back. Sometimes you can't want something bad enough for someone else, and I mean, then they want for themselves.
Say that. Say that. Say that again for the people in the back.
I'm telling you, sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time, you can't want something so bad for someone then they want it for themselves. And this starts what I call from the top down. Top down meaning mom, dad, sister, brother, you name it. Because you may want it so bad for them, but they may just kind of sort of want it. Right? It's the folks that pray. Like, for example, I learned when I asked my Lord and Savior for patience. And I thought it was just going to make me patient. And I started to realize, like, it was literally almost like the next day, everyone showed up to literally tick me off and get on my nerves. Right. So what I learned in the process, and this is over years, in the beginning, I just wanted to give back everything that I've learned. So I had, at first, it was a battle. It was a struggle of taking all that I knew and giving it for free. I was afraid to charge for what I was doing. So I was giving everything for free. No one was using it. And then another mentor told me, says, Obom, people pay to pay attention.
Yes, 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 that's right.
And I said, wait, you're right. Because then he said, how much it cost you to start my course? It was $10,000 for his course. And his course, it was 6 months of mentorship and teaching and learning, right? So he says, how many other courses have you done before you got to mine? And we sat down and put it down. I had spent over about $270,000 on my education.
Wow. Okay.
And this is not school. This is not traditional education. Right. He says, so you're taking all of this and you're going to give it for free. And it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Right.
And he says, no wonder you're broke, because you're getting the information, but you're not learning the information.
Okay.
So, if he wasn't my friend and I wasn't paying him, it would have been right fist, left jaw. It would have been on. So, but, I looked at him and he says, some people get developed, but it's like the more they put in, the dumber they get. You don't want to be in that category.
Right.
He says, I get it. You want to give, you want to serve, you want to help.
Right.
But I have to learn this lesson too. And he says, people pay to pay attention. He says, you're paying attention to everything I said. I said, yes. He says, because you give me $10,000 of your money.
Yep.
Right. And he reminded me, he says, if I was giving this to you for free, you wouldn't pay that much attention either. And I was like, man, so all right, great. I was all right, I'm putting my prices together, get my stuff going. Right. And I started, $1 to $500. He goes, what are you, stupid? I said, well, okay. So I was all right, 500 to 1,000. He goes, that's how you start.
Right.
Because where your price is where your confidence is.
That's good. That's good.
And I said, man, I need to work on my confidence.
So you get your prices up.
So I get my prices now, and it took, honestly, it took about 3 years for me to get the confidence in what I was doing, even though I know the information, done it, and it helped thousands of people in the past.
Right.
So, today it's a different story. It's about 10 grand to get a consultation for certain things. Right. I have a course that's normally 50 grand that I'll do for 10. So what I did with everything I've learned, my passion has always been to give back. Right. And The Bible says, I in John 10:10, I am come to give you life so that you can live it abundantly.
Right.
So I took that and I said, you know what? I want to give so much to everyone so that they can live in abundance. Abundance in love, in business, and everything you do. And then I was also reminded that in the book of Genesis, it said that we won't live from bread alone, but from every word that proceed out of our mouth and from sweat of our brow. Means that you got to speak it, give it life, and take action. Means you got to work.
Right. Exactly.
So the folks that just want you to give them, hey man, let me pick your brain. Like, look, you pick my brain, I ain't gonna have nothing left. I almost kind of resent that term. It's
Right. Right.
let me pick your brain. Don't pick my brain. Come to learn or invest in yourself. Let's exchange ideas and
Right.
let's see how we can help you. But at the end of what I give you, if you're never going to take action on it, I'm never going to share with you.
Right.
So I always have a disclaimer when people spend and invest their hard money with me. So listen, if you're not taking action on what I'm going to teach you and give you, I'll give you your money back. You have to go, because I don't want someone to be like, oh yeah, I've been studying and working with Dr. O for like so long and you're still broke. That means you're not applying. I'm not that person that's just going to take their money.
Right.
That's the other part I learned. I'm not just going to take your money
Right.
because I don't need the money.
Right.
I'm going to take your money to exchange what I have for you. You're going to get my gifts. It's going to cost you something, but now you have to act on it. If you're not going to act, bye, Felicia, you have to go.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia, you have to go. It's funny. I've fired more clients than most people would have,
Wow.
because my name and what I do is 100% effective.
Mm.
But if I have now, let's say there's two groups of people. A group of 100 that says, oh yeah, I follow Dr. O and I've gotten this. And there's 600 that says I follow Dr. O and I got nothing. Just because they didn't apply still affects me. So I'm like, if you're not applying, you got to go.
Right.
You
Right.
have to go. I'm so serious about my reputation as well. And that's the main thing I learned from personal development. It's like, there's so many, like Rockefeller, Hill, the rest of them. They were very, very stringent on those who follow them, because
Right.
the name alone having the value is not powerful. It's how many other people you help to become successful. That's powerful.
That's true. That is so, so true. Hey man, listen, I know our time is far spent, but I do want to give you an opportunity to share with people how they can get in contact with you, how they can follow you, how they can connect with you.
Thank you so much for doing that too. The best way to get in touch with me is probably on my new website, creditcheatcode.com. And that is, I have 8 different companies I run, but the one I'm most passionate about now is helping, especially Americans, understand credit, understand debt, because since COVID hit, too many people got hit and don't know what to do, and they don't understand credit. So that whole business is to help people understand master credit and get into an 800 credit score. So creditcheatcode.com, best way, or you can just Google me. As my oldest daughter say, I'm Googleable. So you can Google me.
Okay. All right. Well, man, listen, I know that you have more information that you can share and that you want to share. And I'm so glad that you were able to actually carve out some of your time to be on our show. I want to thank you again for just being here, sharing your knowledge and your expertise. Well, listen, we're going to, and in fact, before we go, just real quick, do you have any last words?
So my last words to anyone watching this is, well, first of all, Mr. Prince has been serving. 3 things you want to remember in life. You have to get, you have to give, and you have to develop. My daughter is coming. Say hello. Okay, great. Mwah.
I can't hear.
You can't hear. You'll hear just now. Daddy's busy. So the new world, right? Kids are everywhere. The most important thing is, in your getting and in your giving, you must be willing to pay the price.
Right.
If you're not willing to pay the price, you will never get what you truly desire.
Man,
That's it. As Les Brown would say, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, that's an amazing story and some valuable information. Well, listen, We want to thank Dr. Obom for being on this show, and we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
The wait is finally over for Cicone's most anticipated book of the year, Leadership That Lasts, passing on 10 solid principles to ensure an enduring legacy. Powerful, effective, impactful, dynamic, phenomenal, transformative, life-changing. Available now in Amazon. Order yours today.
I told you that the interview with Dr. Obom Bowen was going to actually set you on fire on the importance of getting a coach and somebody to come along and help you. But that brings us to our last word, which is found in Philippians chapter 2, verse 13. And the word of the Lord reads, "For it is God that worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure." So God is working in us and working on us. Our thing is we need to cooperate with him. We need to put ourselves in a position to where we can actually be used of God. And most of the times that means we're going to have to get trained or get some tutelage or some guidance from someone else. So we have to make it a point to put ourselves in a position to get the information we need so that we can be the best possible version of ourselves. Hey, listen, if you thought this week's show was awesome, you need to check out next week's show because I have a special guest, but you have to tune in to see who that is. And also, if you're getting anything from this program, here's what I need you to do. You can email us, Cicone@CiconePrince.com. Tell us what you think about the program. And if you feel led to, you can donate. Here's my Cash App right here on the screen, or you can send it via PayPal, which is right here as well. And listen, we will see you next week, and we are so excited because we know that we're making a difference in somebody's life. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.